morning and afternoon. It's Wednesday, 9 a.m. Pacific. Welcome all to the Sharing Show. I'm Kane, and I'm joined today with David, better known as the Workday Sharing Guy, Denise, Logan, and special guests.
Thanks, Kane. What is the most important thing about Zoom chat?
The most important thing about Zoom chat is making sure that you have selected to send any messages you send to all attendees and all panelists so that everybody sees your chat. We can all interact and engage. Without further ado, I think we're ready to pass over to our first Kahoot.
Thanks, Kane. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do our survey Kahoot this morning. So remember, it's at kahoot.it. So log in with any smart device to kahoot.it.
Denise, it's asking me for a PIN.
Okay, we'll have the PIN in just a second. You're just going to put in that 7-digit code and we'll be ready to go.
Okay, for those of us joining for the first time, it's kahoot.it, right? Not kahoot.com. And you could be doing it on a phone, on a computer, any device.
Okay, and our PIN is 8578530.
All right, that's 8,578,530. Okay, there are no right answers to these. This is a survey. We're taking a poll. It's a different type of April Fool's Day this year. So, what is it you would prefer? We're all in a different situation this year. Do you want only funny, like several April 1st jokes? Would you prefer like no jokes at all? Yellow would be in between, let's do some jokes, or green. Wait, what's an April Fool's joke? Okay, a lot say only funny, and a lot it looks like a tie perhaps. So, so April Fool's jokes are okay. A few people wanted no jokes at all. What's your favorite part of working from home? Favorite part, the view from your desk is red. Blue is wearing your pajamas all day. Yellow, family being close. Green, the refrigerator being close. What's your favorite part of working from home? Assuming that you are working from home right now. Favorite part, wearing pajamas all day. If you don't know me, this is David. We go only first names, no company names here on the Sharing Show. So I'm just David, the Sharing Guy. I have a disclaimer that I've done on every show, and I know people are really enjoying when I do this. I'm not a Workday employee anymore. I used to be employee 149 back like 12 years ago. My views do not represent Workday. This is a sharing show. I also do share-a-thons, and I'm starting to do lunchtime Calc field sharing. None of this is training. I highly recommend the Workday training. I'm on a mission to help as many Workday customers as possible. So what I'm going to be doing in April, for those of us who are really enjoying the view, working in their pajamas, whatever it is you're liking, it's lunchtime hour for me in the Pacific time zone, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday throughout the rest of April. I'll be doing Calc field hour. Yeah, okay, so the whole month of April, I'm gonna do that. And also on April 7th, you should find this on Community. It's an encore performance of a 90-minute share-a-thon, which is different than these like Monday, Wednesday, Friday lunch hours. This is where we have you guys asking questions and we all work together. So that's, again, something you'll find on Community of Encore of Demystify, and that's on April the 7th. You will see it here on Community. You'll find this page pretty easily, I would think. And this was just posted yesterday about today's special show for April 1st. And then that previous post was about this Calc field lunch hour. I used to call it the question and chat hour. Here's the calendar then. We're all filled up.
All right, let's take a closer look at that sharing calendar.
This is showing all of April. There's a lot of sharing we're going to do. we're doing a lot on calc fields. The idea is to maybe remove calc fields from the discussions here we're having on the sharing show. We'll just take those off separately.
And it looks like the sharing show is going to be bi-weekly every Wednesday in April.
That's right.
All right. So for April, we have Wednesdays, plus we have the encore of Demystifying Calc Fields on the 7th. So that's just 1 week from yesterday. And then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we have the Calc Field Hour with David, 12 to 1 Pacific.
All right, thank you, Logan. So here's that page for the Encore Demystify if you have not yet registered. There's a nice little picture there as a reminder of what I like to do in the Demystify is instead of talking about candidates, employees, or expense reports, we talk about pumpkins.
Thanks, David. What do we have up next on the agenda?
Up next, we have Emmanuel from Finland with an ask about learning content.
Hi, I have one question, which is how can you pull fields from unrelated business object and how to create nested calculated fields? For example, I have a report containing learning record as a primary business object of my report data source, but I want to pick learning content number from the learning content business object so that when you create a course, you can add the content number here. And then by here, you can later filter from the report and connecting the legacy system content course number with the Workday Live course number. When I was trying to pull up the report from the learning record data source, I wasn't able to pull this learning content number from the learning content business object. So that's the question I wanted to present here.
Okay, so I could see, Emmanuel, by looking on the left, I could see that you have this business object column. Let's see if my arrow actually shows up here on the screen. So you've got learning record as the primary business object, and right here, you can see learning content is an RBO, and it is a one-to-one. And so you have it here, and you're looking for this content number, right? So your example is like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I did a little investigation myself, but go ahead and explain this final picture then.
Yeah, so basically I want to pull a report containing all this learning content number that has been added in the live Workday learning course. And yeah, but I'm missing to this field in the report.
All right, so what I did is I looked up the learning record business object, which shows up there in blue. And then I searched, well, there's only 18 fields in it. So I was able to find learning content. That shows on the left as the field name. On the very far right is the actual name of the business object. So it tells us it's a single instance, and learning trackable is the related business object. And so here's the field called learning content, but it's important for people to know, come from the bottom, like 4 lines from the bottom tells you the actual object. The actual object's not called learning content, it's called learning trackable. So then I went and I looked up learning trackable. I didn't see any fields in it. So maybe this has to do with how it's configured, I'm not sure. Did you have a second to look? Do you have anything in learning trackable, or is it just an empty business object?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I wasn't able to check this one.
Okay, all right, let's move this to the chat. Anyone with any help for Emmanuel? Thank you for sharing or asking your question, which is also sharing. And there's discussion in the chat for this.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. And what do we have next on our agenda?
Up next, we have Olivia from Florida with a share on scheduling alerts.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes, hi, Olivia.
Hi. So this came up actually in our, 1-hour Calc field sharing class. So it had a lot of interest with the people that were on there. So they just asked me to kind of go through. Some of you may be doing it, but if not, a good tool to have. So I included the link up there to community that can give you a little bit more detailed information, and so you can ensure that you have all the permissions and everything that you need to access everything. But basically, you can configure alerts on almost anything you can create a report for. So one of the ones that came up during our Calc field sharing was an interest in contingent workers with expiring contracts. So we had one kind of set up for there. Ours is slightly different because we use ours as a web service report that automates some things, but I kind of recreated one as just basic to give you an idea of how it's configured. So start with the report, and you create the report with the criteria that you want. So this one is just looking at all active and terminated workers. It's just pulling back their name, their active status, their ID, and then their contract end date and last day of work. So then you would go through and put any filters or prompts that are needed. In this case, we had wanted to pull people that were expiring within 14 days, 9 days, and 5 days from the day. So I included 3 different prompts so that you can include that in the one report when you're scheduling it. So again, that's in the filters and the prompts. So then you would go to the configure alert task, and you're going to enter the name of the report that you created in the previous step. So in this case, it was the contingent workers, and then determine how often you want it to run. In this case, we wanted it a daily frequency. So then once you get to the next screen, there are several items for you to configure on there and to schedule. So give it a name, put alerts. And we, a lot of times, if it's just a report that we created for an alert, we'll name it as an alert. Otherwise, you can, put whatever you want here for the request name and have the regular report. We always just choose general notifications. I think there's like one other option in there, but it doesn't really apply. So general notifications is good. And then if you scroll down the page, it'll let you put in your report parameters. So this is where I put the different dates that we needed. So Workday does have a lot of global delivered fields that you can use from, but in a couple of our cases, we wanted an interval that wasn't already in the global list. So we created a calc field for that. So I put that on the right-hand side. So we did it off the current effective date. I put it on the global business object so that it could be used there, and it just adds 14 days from the current effective date. And you can do that with as many prompts as you need. Then if you keep scrolling down the page there, it'll ask you if you want to include a task. It's not required, but in this case, it was one that we wanted to include because we're asking the manager, okay, hey, review this. Your person's about to be expired. Do you need to extend their contract or not? So we wanted just a quick link to the change job transaction so they could start that on the person, right there without having to go into Workday, search for it and everything. So it'll include that into the email. And then you can pick your recipients. In this case, we wanted ours to go to, manager, but you can pick whoever it needs to be there. And then go ahead and go to the schedule task on the next slide.
Okay, wait, I just wanted, so you got manager level 1 and manager level 2, but that's manager and then manager's manager.
Yeah.
I just, when you said that, I wanted to make sure I followed that, Olivia. Okay, great.
Yeah. And then you can create any custom language that you want in your report or in your message. So you give your notification a subject, any kind of introductory comments if you needed. Here we kind of just put some basic, your person's about to expire. This means their access is going to be cut off. So if you need to extend it, go to the change job task and update that information. And then you'll also get the kind of message template that you're kind of used to seeing with some of those other ones, and can put whatever fields that are available there, or also calc fields within those as well. So for example, we wanted the contract end date to be formatted in a certain way. So we created a contract end date like format mask there to have it go month, day, year. Okay, and then you would just put in your schedule criteria. So again, if you want it to run every weekday, if you want it to run every day, what time you want it to start, what time zone, how long you want it to go, and then press OK, and then it'll start running on the next one. Okay, and then you can go to your view alerts task, and then you can see everything that you've created as an alert. And on this page, you can see on the right-hand side, it said number of times it was run. if you click on that number, which I don't have a screenshot here, but it'll show you, who it goes to, how many were sent out, on what date, and then even if you dig into that a little bit more, it'll show you a sample of the email that goes out as well. As an alternative, I put this in there. We aren't really using this one, but it is another option. If you want to configure, you can schedule a business process alert notification on the entire business process versus having it from a report. We found there was a little bit more flexibility with the report, but there are some nice features on this one too, because I think, for example, if you did, we originally looked into this one for kind of our onboarding tasks that were outstanding, because it does include like direct links to the task itself, and more than one if you want to see all the ones that are outstanding. But it just overall didn't quite work for us because we don't have a lot of our due dates and effective dates and stuff set up properly for some of those, but it could be an option for some of you if you want to look into that, but that is another option as well. So you would just kind of give it a name, put in what business process that you want it for, and then based on the date range there. And then you have a little bit more flexibility here with some of the text because it doesn't have all those, fields, so you can kind of hard code whatever you want. But then again, also it doesn't have some of that other where I can put in the calc fields and some of those types of things. So it's just another option, but I included the link up there as well. So if you want to read more about that on community and determine what process will be better for you.
Okay, thank you, Olivia. I think there might be some questions for you coming into the chat.
Sure.
I have noticed about half of the people in the chat are sending only to all panelists. So you should see a message in there from Logan reminding you of the most important thing in Zoom. Now, as I'm saying this, if we have time at the end, maybe we'll talk about whether or not we'll do a different type of like the Brady Bunch Zoom where people will actually share their face at the start of the next session, maybe. Not sure, we'll see if we'll do that or not. But for sure, the second most important thing for Zoom, besides making sure your pajamas are all clean when you're showing your face, is know the chat to everyone, not just the panelists.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Olivia.
Yep.
Thanks, Olivia. That was great. And what do we have up next on our agenda?
Up next, we have some April 1 announcements.
Okay, I'll do the first April 1st announcement here is now that Workday Cloud Platform is out there for customers, customers who already have Workday Cloud Platform, you might want to do this. Have you ever gone to a meeting and you could see people's email, but you don't know how to say their name? And particularly now, with everybody working from home, maybe you would want to know how to say their name. Notice in Workday, you could see someone's face and you could see how to spell their name, but you wouldn't know how to say their name. So with Workday Cloud Platform, I'm able to put into your system for you related actions. If you are this person, you would see related action to record my name. If you're looking at somebody else's picture, you would see related action to say, hear my name. So this is a great example, and maybe Kane will actually play for us how the Workday Cloud Platform worked for him on this with pronouncing Jacqueline Desjardins' name. On purpose, I'm not saying it the French way. So this is called My Name, My Voice. And I actually developed this a while ago, waiting for Cloud Platform to go GA. And so now if you do have Cloud Platform and you would like to know how to say people's names, contact me for My Name, My Voice. So what it does is it takes the email address, your work email, and it ties it to your voice, means you record your voice, your name in your voice. And then you have a URL that you could share with people, but inside Workday, you could just click using Cloud Platform and you wouldn't have to see what you see here on the screen. You would just hear the person saying their name. This is now a different tool. Okay, so that was the first one. Now we have also a Cloud Platform tool that says, watch me say my name. And so you could actually have related actions to record video of you saying your name, and then you could watch somebody saying their name, whether they're in their pajamas or not. I mean, maybe people might have to change their daily routine to record their name and have it on video. Anyway, this is a newer feature, and instead of calling this one My Name, My Voice, I'm calling this one My Name, My Video. Let's talk about yet another new feature. All of this being announced here on this special day, April 1st. Now, this feature is in Workday 2020 R1. It's called Workday Assistant, and you could do voice commands, like you could say view dependents. There's a whole list of things there on the right that you could view. What I've done using Cloud Platform is I've created something called Create a Report. And you would use Workday Assistant, and you would say something like, hey, Workday, create a report that lists all new hires this week. What my tool would then do using Cloud Platform, it will automatically get you started. It'll know which report data source you want. And you'll even notice like the name here comes in automatically because you did say you want to list new hires this week. So this is a tool I'm calling Voice Assist for report writing.
And are there more April 1 announcements?
Yeah, we weren't sure how many people would vote that they wanted only jokes today. So a lot of people voted maybe some jokes are okay, but we were going to announce today that Logan is pregnant, but we decided really not to do that. So we're not going to make that announcement. Instead, let's talk about another tool. So this one is called Think Calc Field, Create Calc Field. So all you have to do is think, like with the one with the report writer, you have to actually say, hey, Workday, create a report of all workers who have been hired this month. This one is actually, it's not shown in the picture, but I've developed this headset. You put it on, and then like it automatically knows from your brain waves the type of calc field that you want. So create a calc field for the most recent pay increase, for example, or the most recent whatever, possibly. And it will automatically know that you need to do an extract single instance. And because of your thoughts, most recent pay increase, it will know what to name it. Of course, ZCF, so it shows up alphabetically on the bottom, and always 3-letter acronym ESI for extract single instance. This is the one that I've spent the most time on because it's really difficult sometimes to pick out exactly the thoughts that people are having.
Thanks, David. This one came in over email. It's a fun way to check out business objects.
Okay, so this one is a feel free to announce this. It came in over email. So somebody that we know has been working on a virtual reality business object model explorer. You can choose your starting point, put on a Halo lens, and then go walking through the business object forest. You could traverse each trail path that leads from object to object and stop and read or listen to narration about that path and what its history is and what it's used for. At each business object, there's a gift shop where you could sign the registry for items of value like attributes and relationships that you have found interesting in that object store. When you finish your virtual reality exploration, you could log into a special website and check out all the items you registered for in the gift shops. And those can then be used to build a draft report of your areas of interest. This one is maybe better than the last one, but man, this is going to be powerful when it comes out.
Thanks, David. And thank you for sending in the email. We love having those shares. What do we have up next on our agenda?
Up next, we have our I Love Workday contests with both, now we have photos and videos.
Right, okay, yeah, Denise, this photo one, we've showed this before. And remember, there is a page on community for the I Love Workday photo contest. There's a separate page shown on the bottom right for the vote. So make sure to go to the vote page when you vote. But like Denise let you know, we now have the I Love Workday video contest. And you'll see a little play button there on all those pictures. Well, all those pictures are people who entered the photo contest. So instead now, put together a video, your entire team on the Zoom if you want, I don't want to make any more pajama jokes, but anyway, put together your team Zoom I Love Workday video contest entry. And this will go for a while. We'll let you know on the next show how to submit it. It probably takes you a while to create these.
Thanks, David. What's up next on our agenda?
Up next, we have Jerry from Montana with our Calc field dashboards.
Hi, everyone. I just thought it was a good time to give a quick reminder of the Calc field dashboard that we've been talking about the last couple of shows. We've had several recent submissions on both asks and shares, so if you haven't been out there to look at it, now would be a good time to go out and take a look.
All right. Yeah, thank you, Jerry. I have seen a lot more activity recently.
And then this is just an example of a recent ask that we've had on the site.
Yeah, and Emmanuel, if you look closely, you'll see that we're highlighting here the ask that you did on the show earlier.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes, good.
All right, thanks so much, everyone. We'd like to say thank you, SnapLogic.
Okay, right. So SnapLogic is a new co-sponsor. So they're one of our co-sponsors. We have several co-sponsors.
And thank you to our co-sponsor, David, the sharing guy.
Okay, yep. Thank you, Logan. So Kane has been a co-sponsor from the start. I've just been doing this in my spare time, but I am now officially a co-sponsor. I have a web page now, davidthesharingguy.com. On there, you'll see some nice pictures, a little bit about me, and also I will start highlighting the materials we're going over in the Monday, Wednesday, Friday Calc field lunches. Like Olivia mentioned in her presentation, we actually dove into the alerts, and then that led to this presentation she gave today, her share. So I have a quote here. I can't say enough about the workshop. I learned a ton. The timing was good. The examples were great. The resources were helpful. I can't think of anything I'd change. Okay, well, thanks a lot. We do ask for something to change with everyone. So we do ask for feedback. I like to give hints. I think it's easier to learn if you actually are challenged as compared to being told where to click. So once I gave a hint and the person replied right away with the answer, and when I asked, wait, was the hint too easy? The response was the hint made me think and did not make it too easy. This is so much fun, thank you. I did Workday training for 5 of my 6 years I was at Workday. I don't remember anyone ever telling me how much fun it was. I mean, people liked the training, but to get this in an email was fantastic.
And we'd like to say thank you to Dovetail. Dovetail has been our co-sponsor from the beginning. And Dovetail is a Workday certified select partner, providing HR service delivery software that reduces the number of questions into HR by over 50%, providing employee portal, HR case management, and HR knowledge management. They recently released a new UI and have real-time integrations with Workday. So you can learn more at dovetailsoftware.com. And now I'd like to just reintroduce Kane, and he wanted to share a little bit with us that might be very pertinent right now for you with our current state of the world. Kane.
Thank you, Logan. So first, what I want to do is just show you what David was mentioning earlier about my name, my voice. So here's an example of
Jacqueline Desjardins.
I'll play it a few times.
Jacqueline Desjardins.
So what's great about this, obviously, if you're trying to understand someone's name, especially one that you can't really pronounce that well, of course, you can go hear it and...
Jacqueline Desjardins.
Okay, so it's not Desjardins.
This is exactly how I would pronounce it.
Jacqueline Desjardins.
Okay, and then secondly, what I wanted to do, so at Dovetail, as Logan just mentioned, we have customers that use our tools to log questions from HR. Well, over the last 4 weeks, what are the types of questions HR have been getting? Well, of course, you can imagine, just like your departments are probably getting a lot of questions about coronavirus, working from home, remotely, all those sorts of things. So if you head over to our homepage, dovetailsoftware.com, there is a button now that says COVID-19 HR stats. It takes you to a blog post that we just pushed out last night. And basically it walks you through 3 different statistics that we've been monitoring over the last 4-week period. And this first one, I'll just sort of mention it, but basically it's the number of questions coming into our customers in the HR teams directly related to coronavirus. Maybe it's a closure, maybe it's a working from home, maybe it's I may have been exposed to it, or I've got symptoms, I've got underlying health problems, or whatever it might be. If it's related in some way to this pandemic that's going on right now, our customers are tracking it, and because we have a SaaS platform, we can aggregate those results and just see some very interesting results coming in. And then what we also did was break it down by the channel. So whether they're using live chat, whether they're using employee portal, email, or phone, so you can sort of see that over the 4-week period. We go into some detail on why this is shifting, so it's quite interesting. There is a PDF that you can go look at. It's an 18-tip guide, basically. Now, you don't have to have our software, but if you go and click on this link and go into this guide, it will actually give you 18 suggestions that you can make to probably some tools that you already have in place. So if you have a case management tool that IT is using or sales are using, or if you have a SharePoint or some sort of intranet technology, these tools, these tips in here will apply to those tools as well. So it's worth looking. And then the last graphic we have here is just the volume week by week. And the reason why there's a dip here in week 4, we are coming up to a peak right now in globally, but there's a dip here that we're seeing, and we've researched with customers, is basically a lot of our customers have implemented one of those or several of those 18 tips, and they've also started to push out FAQs, guides, helplines, dedicated staff on the coronavirus questions, and so on. So just basically in conclusion, if you want to look at that, go to our website, dovetailsoftware.com, and you click on the COVID-19 stats and you get that. We're going to be updating some of those stats daily, some of those are weekly. And actually interesting, this article written by myself and my brother who's based in the UK, Kelly. He works for us in our marketing team. So more posts there as well if you'd like. With that, I am going to pass it back over to Denise.
Thanks, Kane. That was great. It is time for our final Kahoot, our quiz Kahoots. Let's see who will make the podium.
Okay, this time there are going to be right answers.
Our pin for this one is 767516.
All right, 76, 75, 16. And I hope you were all paying attention as well. Maybe got a chuckle or two, kind of brighten up your day a little bit. Okay, here we go. 4 questions. They all have a single right answer. The first question, how often in April are the Calc field hours? I think of it as lunch hours. It's every other Wednesday, the match with the every other Wednesday of the sharing show. It's every workday. It's every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And there are no Calc field hours. It's an April Fool's joke. Okay, I didn't fool anybody. It actually is going to happen. So Friday will be the first one. You will find the link on community when you go into that page I showed earlier. Okay, it is every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Oh, hi, Charlene. Good to see you. Tied with KT for first, only 2 points ahead of Gretch. All right, it looks close so far. Which one is a real feature using Workday Cloud Platform? My name, my voice, my name, my video, say report and star the report, think Calc field and star the Calc field. One of these is actually real. You can't just think about a Calc field and, oops, I shouldn't have said that. Sorry. Okay, a lot of people know that My Name, My Voice is actually real, and particularly because you heard Jacqueline Desjardins. KT, you were 15 milliseconds ahead of Charlene, who's 3 in front of Mandy. We got 60 points then to the tied for 4th. Okay, 3rd question. Which one is an April Fool's joke? One of these is a joke. Calc Field Dashboard, Workday Assistant in 2020 R1, Virtual Reality Business Object Explorer, the I Love Workday Photo Contest. Which one of these is actually an April Fool's joke? Okay, a lot of people knew it was the walking through the forest of business objects. All right, let's see who got that answer quickest, I would say. Okay, we still got KT and Charlene in the top 2 spots. Charlene not that far ahead of Mandy and Carol, who are tied for 3rd. And Mark F. close behind. The final question from today's share: which notification type did Olivia select for alert request? Was it specific notifications, general notifications, General MacArthur, or General McNeil? Specific notification, general notification. General MacArthur, General McNeil. It was general notifications. Okay, we're not tricking anybody with these. The final, KT, congrats. You are not quite 100 points ahead of Charlene. And Charlene, congrats, you are ahead of Mark F. All 3 of you get a sharing t-shirt if you don't already have one. Okay, back to you, Kane.
Well, thank you, everybody, and thank you for joining today. So special thank you to our guests. Thank you, David. Thank you, Logan. Thank you, Denise. As you are aware, we always post these videos to our YouTube channel. So please head over there and subscribe, like the video, and sign up for notifications as well. We will not be having our normal open mic session today. So we are going to close the show out, and we look forward to speaking to you in 2 weeks' time on the next show. So all that's left to say is everybody have a great workday.
Smile